name is Erin, and this is a Rocket Series class. We'll do standing work, hand balances, backbends, and closing. Add hot peppers where you want and take them away where needed. And meet me at the top of your mat in Samastiti. Let your arms hang long to the sides. Close your eyes. And begin to deepen the inhale and the exhale. Feel all four corners of your feet. Opening the eyes, Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Step walk, float back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha, downward dog. You might choose to shake the dog or walk the dog. And right off the start, right off the hop, set the eyes on one spot. An imperfection on an imperfection. Completing your exhale, eyes forward, feet forward. Lengthen, fold, stand up, palms touch, release the arms. Inhale up, exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Step walk, float back, low push up. Over the toes, lift the chest. Slide back, downward dog. So begin to draw some awareness to the pelvic floor if you haven't already. And you could do that by squeezing the legs toward each other. You could do that by reaching the sitting bones back. Hollow your belly, eyes forward, feet forward. Lengthen. Fold over the thighs. Stand up, palms touch. Release the arms. Inhale up. Fold in. Lift your chest. Float back, Chaturanga, elbows tight. Urdhva Mukha, over the toes. Adho Mukha, downward dog. So we've got a couple tools in our toolbox. The first is where we put our eyes. The second is the sounding quality of the breath. And the third is that really subtle lift of the pelvic floor. Eyes forward, feet forward. Lengthen. Fold over the thighs. Stand up, palms touch. Release the arms. Bending into the knees, arms up. Fold in half, forehead to shins. Lengthen. Step walk, float back, lower. Spinal extension, eyes up. Go back. The right foot steps, warrior one comes up. Down, palms plant, step back, lower. Drag your pelvis through. Slide back. The left foot steps, low hips, high heart. Hands down, step back, low push up. Over the toes, lift the chest. Slide back, downward dog, set your eyes, breathe deeply. So there's that fiery movement, that rhythmic movement, and then we land in a posture. Pull your belly to your spine, eyes forward, feet forward, lengthen. Fold over the thighs. Sit low, Utkatasana, Samastitihi. Bend the knees, arms up. Fold in half, forehead to shins. Lengthen. Step walk, float back, lower. Spinal extension, up we go. Slide back. The right foot steps, warrior one, up. Down, palms plant, back to lower. Drag it through. Slide it back. The left foot steps, lunge to lift, arms up. Hands down, step back, lower. Spinal extension. Downward dog. So now we get the chance to invert. The options would be child's pose, a dolphin pose, or using the wall, you might play with extending up into forearm stand. Remember your tools. So you've got your drishti, your gaze. You've got the lift of the pelvic floor. And you've got the sounding inhale, exhale to excite your senses. If you're upside down, come down, sit back, take child's. Let everything fall away, wash away. And downward facing dog, push back. Completing your exhale, eyes forward, feet forward. Lengthen. Fold over the thighs, Utkatasana to stay. Rest your belly on your thighs, intertwine the fingers and extend the arms out in front. Nice, Ren. Put your eyes on one spot. Lift the inner arches of the feet. So we're already beginning to learn about the lift of the arch that we also put into the hand balances. Hands down, crow or a little squat. Tuck the knees on the backs of the arms, lift up for flight. Eyes set, 3, 2, 1. Step walk, float back, lower. Ride the inhale, ride the exhale. Step your right foot forward, Virabhadrasana A, warrior one. So we're looking for an effort, a place that calls our entire being here. But then we're looking for a quality of ease so that it takes the aggression and intensity away. Tip it forward, standing split, tent the fingers, lift the left leg up. So if you wanted to kick up, play with a handstand, you could. 3. If you're in standing split, lift that leg really high. Releasing the right foot to the ground, step open, warrior 2. Get familiar with the lift in the pelvic floor. Get familiar with a softness in the shoulders. Straighten the front leg, Trikonasana, heel toe the back foot in, hinge, right fingertips to the earth, left hand to the sky. Tell me about the length of your inhale. Tell me about your attention to detail. Eyes down, hands down, square the hips for twisted triangle. Plant your left palm and swivel the right arm up. Every inhale, lengthen tip to tail. Every exhale, roll it open. Take your eyes down, take your hands down, hop the back foot back, extended side angle. So the hand is inside the foot. Take your hips really far back to thread that right arm under, palm faces out, and catch your fingers or your wrists. You might stay there, you might step forward, lifting up into birds of paradise. So regardless of the shape you've chosen, you've got Mula Bandha, the lift in the pelvic floor. You've got your eyes set, and you've got the sounding inhale, exhale. If you're flying, step down, step back. Release the bind, hands down, drop the back knee, twisted side. The left arm reaches and hooks, hands to prayer, or maybe you tangle up those arms for a bind. The beauty of the twisted postures is sometimes it could leave you stressed for oxygen. So find a way to breathe big and long, even though there's a bit of a compression in the belly. Take your eyes down, take your hands down, side plank on the left, spin it open. Reach that right leg nice and high. Some of you might step the right foot down. Release the posture, hands down, low push-up. Over the toes and up. Slide back. Left foot steps, Virabhadrasana A, Warrior One, low hips, high heart. Can you cultivate a quality of fierce attention, but then a detachment from the benefits of it? So that we're doing the shapes purely for the joy of the shape, nothing else. Tip it forward, standing split. Reach your leg up, maybe a little kick up into a handstand. If you're standing split, activate that glute. Release the left foot down and a big step back. Warrior Two. Nice. Beautiful reach. Softer shoulders. Lawrence, I want more in the front knee. Give me more. Bend deeply. Yeah, you got long, gorgeous legs. Let's use them. Straighten the front leg, Trikonasana. Heel toe the back foot in and hinge. So take up more space in the world with your voice, with your needs, with your shapes. Set your eyes on one particular spot. Mula Bandha. Take your eyes down, take your hands down, twisted triangle, right hand to the pinky toe edge, pivot and twist, the top shoulder open. Widen the thighs, lean the ears back. Take your extended side angle, hop your foot back, take the right hand inside the foot. Stick your bottom back behind, the palm faces up to maybe catch your fingers or a grip. And some of you might like to step forward, stand up, birds of paradise. Go to your mouth and your jaw. If you're flying, gently step down, step back. Release the bind, hands down, drop the back knee. Reach that right arm up, hook it over. Your hands may stay in prayer or tangle up the arms in a bind. And notice the compression. So they say genetically you might be a belly breather, and a belly breather would have some difficulty in the twists. You'd be forcing the oxygen into the sides and the backs of your lungs. Bring your eyes down, untangle, side plank on the right. So you might spiral the left leg to the ceiling, you might step it down. Your eyes give a direction to the pose, so look up. Your future looks bright, so look up. Stop looking behind, look up. Eyes down, hands down, low push-up. Over the toes and up. Downward dog, go back. Option 1, child's pose. Option 2, downward dog. Option 3, handstand. Maybe center of the room. Maybe using a wall. Toning the glutes, set your eyes, lift the pelvic floor, deep, full breath. Beautiful, D. If you're upside down, sit back, take child. Downward facing dog, push back. Walk your hands back to your feet and catch your big toes. Inhale, lengthen. Fold forward, let the head fall, tip the weight, clear the abdomen. So go to the wall of the back side of your abdomen. You can think of it like your TA, your transverse abdominis, the teacher's assistant. Hollow the belly deeply and drop the head. Inhale, lengthen, release the toes. It's a little tiny squat, or it's crow to headstand, back to crow. So you could plant your palms, catch your knees for a pickup, gently widen the feet to lower the center of the head, legs float. And if you're playing with Bakasana, have a heyday. And if you're upside down, transitioning back, little Bakasana, lift up. Release your feet to the earth, Pada Hastasana. Thread your hands under your feet, lengthen. Fold forward, clear the belly, eyes up the wall. So again, go to the TA, the transverse abdominis. If you have no idea, Google it, it's cool. And let the head fall. So we're attempting to access places in the body that are not that normal or ordinary. It's unusual and spectacular. Inhale, lengthen. Release your hands and crawl forward, downward dog. Eyes forward, top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Fold over the thighs. Stand up. Release the arms. Take a step out with your right foot and pigeon toe the feet. Catch the waist. Inhale, puffs the chest. Exhale, down. Inhale, lengthen the sides. And exhale, head down. Internally rotate the thigh bones and take your hips over your ankles. Some of you might want to float up in a headstand. Some of you might stay in this perfect articulation of a wide-legged forward bend where gravity doesn't have such a pull comparative to the seated wide-legged. If the feet are up, put them down. Inhale, lengthen. Catch your waist and stand all the way up for C. Arms float. Intertwine your fingers, but put the awkward pinky on top. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, fold forward. Pull the low belly back, weight heavy to the toes. A big inhale stands you up. Arms go wide for a Titibhasana, so hands down. Walk your feet in front of your hands and squat, and some of you will stay there. Some of you will walk your feet a little bit closer to your shoulders, widen your elbows, and sit back, Titibhasana. So this is a really interesting posture in that the bum is quite low and the heart is quite high. Release your feet to the floor, catch your big toes, lengthen. And fold, crown of the head to the floor, elbows up, thighs up, bum up. What are you looking at? Like, do you see what you're looking at, and are you actually doing what you're doing? Inhale, lengthen. We'll go into Hanuman facing the right. Drop your back knee. Straighten your right leg. Slide forward, Ardha or full Hanuman. You can point the back toe or tuck it under. You could reach the arms up or fold over. But check and see if there's a little more possible today. You might err on the side of caution a lot, and you might actually tend to strive. So whether you want to push forward or pull back, that's up to you. And then releasing the hands to the earth, lunge into that right knee. We'll take side crow facing the back. So step your left foot to meet your right. Pivot your knees to face the left. And hook your left elbow on your right knee, side crow. Some of you might snuggle in without lifting up. 3, 2, 1. Release the feet, knees to the opposite side. Side crow on the right. Hook your right elbow, pick it up, side crow. Again, you might just snuggle in. Release the feet to the floor. Inhale, lengthen, and step your right foot back for half split or full. So again, the back knee could tuck, the back toes could point.
to lunge back into that left knee, and we'll end up in the wide-legged position for middle splits or frog pose. So you might drop to the knees 90 degrees. You might take the legs wide. Close your eyes and actively, fiercely lift the pelvic floor and let everything else stop, drop, and roll. And slowly rising all the way up to a wide-legged position, pivot yourself to face your right leg. So you're facing forward, and then ninja step your left foot, or yeah, that's right, little ninja step top of the mat. Side crow one more time. Fan your knees to face the left. You might snuggle, that might be your option. You might pick it up and fan the legs. Release the flight, pivot the opposite direction, snuggle in, pick it up, a variation on side crow. Release the flight, knees through center, lengthen. Fold. Stand all the way up, palms touch. Release the arms, take a moment, close your eyes. Let the blood rush. Let lactic acid move. Feel the temperature of the skin that's wet, the naked skin and the skin that's clothed. Become conscious of the space between the brows, the weight in the feet. Open your eyes, bring your feet hip distance apart, catch your waist. Lift your right arm and lift your right leg to catch your toe. And then immediately take the leg out to the side, eyes over the left shoulder. Straight into dancer's pose, eyes forward, catch your ankle, dance. Put your eyes on one spot. Do you see what you're looking at? Find Mula Bandha, the pelvic floor, find Drishti, gazing point, and find the victorious breath. And release the pose. Catch your left hip, right hip, lift your left leg, catch your toe, and immediately take the leg to the side. Set those eyes, very nice Lori, that's coming, good girl, yeah. Gorgeous Airdrie, Rach. Nice Deb and Ren. Eyes forward, straight into dancers, catch the ankle, kick. Find your pose. Set your eyes, lift the pelvic floor, tighten your bow. And release the shape. Half bound standing lotus or tree on the left leg. So the right leg comes up. Seal the calf and hamstring. Maybe reach the hand behind the back to fold. Maybe stay upright if you're working your Vrikshasana. Notice if there's clutter in the hip. Inhale, lengthen. Rise all the way up, release the shape. Opposite side, tree or half-bound standing lotus. Pull up the left leg, put your foot where you want it, and fold. Mula Bandha, so that's the
the knitting of the sitting bones together. Eyes on one freaking spot. Bow. Inhale, lengthen. Rise all the way up. Release the shape. Close your eyes. Let blood rush. Stabilize the pranayama. What's it like on the inside of you? Open your eyes, bring your feet hip distance apart and bend your knees. Hands to heart center, wrap the right foot around the left, figure 4. Some of you might bring your hands to the earth to lift up for flying pigeon 3. 2. 1. Release the flight. Sit in your throne. Other side. Wrap the foot. Hands to the floor. Maybe catch the shin for flight. Nice and high. Release the flight. Sit in your throne. Stand all the way up onto the tippy toes. Drop the knees forward. Lower onto the bottom. Navasana. Just a moment, check in. How's my belly? How's the connection between my legs and my torso? Release your hands and feet. Take your right leg back. Move the meat of your calf, and you might need a block underneath your hips, round the pelvis. Glue your knee to your chest, right between the tissue of the breast, and then maybe catch the calf or the foot, calf, not a little baby cow, and fold in. So that's a little trick that I use, like if you don't have breasts, then it's between the pectoral muscles, right in the center of the chest. Inhale for length, release that, lean to the left, pick the right leg up, Ashtavakrasana. So we might just rock our hip and that'll be a good enough shape. Some of us will wear our knee like a backpack, cross the feet, pick it up, 3, 2, 1. Maybe there's a vinyasa back or extend those legs. Take a beat. All the way through. Crown Chasana, other side. Take your left leg back. Bend your right knee. So the pose translates as Heron. Put your knee between your nipples and then extend the leg. I didn't feel comfortable saying it. I shouldn't have said it. So it's Heron posture. And my Italian friend, because of her accent, she says Erin's pose. And so a lot of the students are like, oh my God, that's so sweet. She named it after Erin, but really it's just the way an Italian says Erin, Heron pose. Pull the thigh deep into the hip, chest up, eyes up. Inhale, lengthen. Release the shape, sit to the right, pull the left leg forward, rock the hip. So if you'd like to take your little ashta, pick it up, sail, otherwise rock the hip, 3, 2, 1. Wherever we are, we'll meet in downward dog. Changing directions, drop down onto the knees, child, dolphin, or pincha before we move to our back bends. You might like to flirt with some leg variations.
down, and we'll set ourselves up for hero. So we can rest when we're dead. Move the flesh of the legs. Sit back. I like to tuck my belly into my pants at that moment. Rest your hands on your thighs. Close your eyes. So you are the protagonist of your own story, the hero of your own story. But the tendency is to hook out. What are my kids doing? What is my partner doing? What is my ex doing? What is the president doing? And we must come back to the center of our own center. Come back, sleeping hero, or stay just the way that you are. The center of your own center, it's your breath. It's the life you're creating. It's the conversations you're creating. Your hobbies, your loves, yourself. Rising all the way up from wherever you are, option one, it's a plank, or it's a headstand vinyasa. So you could pop up for a tripod, check in that the knees are still intact, and then you might flow vinyasa. From downward facing dog, tip forward and onto the belly for frog. So take your knees a little bit wider and take a moment to flop your feet out to the side. Reaching back for the toes, you might stop there. Some of you might be able to flip the fingers to track the toenail side of the foot. Elbows squeeze, chest up. Release the shape, cheek to one side, or vinyasa. Tip it forward onto the tummy, bow pose, bend your knees. Reach back, catch the ankles, up we go. The eyes are down the tip of the nose, the inner thighs squeeze together. Rock over, right shoulder, right hip, ears back, eyes back. Zipper through center. Other side, rock over, ears back. What are you looking at? Where did the drishti land? Zipper through center, release the shape. Vinyasa, or downward facing dog, push back. Little check-in, how am I? Pretty good, thank you for asking. Drop down onto the knees, Ustrasana. Okay, have some fun. Pretend this is like the moment. Catch the waist. Take your pubic bone over top of your knees, reach back, open your heart, open your heart. All the way up, it's a child's pose or a headstand. Or any vinyasa, any variation of an inversion you like. 3, 2, 1. Come down, stand up on the knees. Last one. This one is for all the money in the world. Pelvis forward, back we go. Eyes back. Knees forward. 3, 2, 1. All
palms, push back, downward dog. So before we go into our urdhvas, let's take an Ekapada Rajakapotasana, a king pigeon. You could bow forward, you could bow back. Lift your right leg up. Lower your shin, the foot is very close to the pubic bone. Fold forward if you like, bind it up like a half lotus if you like. You might bend the back leg and take a bind. Release your shape, hands down. Tuck the back toe under, send the right leg high, and then cross it over for fallen triangle. And the back foot's like a side angle. You might pop up onto the heel of the right foot. You might catch the pinky toe edge, reach the foot to the side or the front of the room. Vishdhimatrasana, pubic bone up, 3. Where are your eyes? 2. 1, hands down, lower. Ride your inhale. Ride your exhale. Left leg up. Sweep it through. Ekapada Rajakapotasana. You could fold. You could bend back. Take your shape. Untangle the pose, tuck the back toe under, send the left leg high. Sweep it through for fallen triangle. So the back foot is like a side angle. You might pop your left toes up, catch the edge of the foot, reach it to the long edge or forward in front of you, eyes up, 3, 2, 1, send it back, 3-legged dog, release. All the way through to a seat and onto your back. Little bridge or full wheel. So if you use the wall, use the wall. Let's go up, straight up. Stack your ribs over top of your wrists if you're up. Pull your knees toward each other. Come down. Come up. All the way up. No hesitation, don't miss a beat, up we go. Come all the way down and all the way up. Last one. So for those of you that love little bridge or full wheel and you're comfortable, you might lift your right leg up and then your left leg up. Come all the way down. Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined butterfly, hands on the tummy. Close your eyes. There's so much to feel, and yet some of us have a knee jerk to numb. I'll think about something, I'll busy myself. But right now, the only responsibility you have is to celebrate your body and its function. Its digestion, its flow of blood, bending forward and backward, your eyesight, your sense of touch, temperature of your hands on your abdomen. Feel the way that the feet touch or don't. Notice the air around you. Is it warmer than you, cooler than you, more humid than you? How do you know where you end and then the room begins? Use your hands, bring your knees together, give yourself a nice hug. Cross your ankles, rock up to a seat. Paschimottanasana, down and forward we go. So I've likely mentioned this before, but this used to be called the pose of Brahman. And Brahman is it's a caste in India, but it's also this idea of a God within, a high self, a soul. You know that part of you that is not your name? You know that quality? For me, I've experienced it when I've gotten really injured, and there's a part of me that's totally fine. So we bow to the part of us that is unscathed, unbroken, and ever free. Rise all the way up to take a vinyasa and set yourself up for a headstand. Now, if you'd prefer a reclined twist, do that. If you'd prefer anything, not tequila or a cigarette, do that. So anything you want, shoulders, hips, back, anything. Otherwise, elbows tight, up we go, Shirshasana, headstand. This is the king of the asana. Doesn't mean it's more important or we like it better. It's just that the king has a big job, an entire kingdom to run. For those of you that have a pike, you might slide your bum back, your feet the direction you're looking. You might play with some leg variations. You know, if you truly want balance upside down, the legs splitting in all sorts of directions will help you find the plumb line. And wherever you are, come down, sit back, take child's. Very nice, Ren. We've been here 3 times, right? And every time it's a little bit different. It's almost like we're a different child. Taking a vinyasa and meeting me in a seat. A little bit different than usual. Let's play first with our right leg lotus on top. So you might be cross-legged. You might take a half lotus with the right foot leading. Or some of you might be able to slide it into a full Padmasana. Close your eyes and rest your hands on your knee, and we'll do a little bit of pranayama here. It'll be a three-part inhale and then a natural exhale. Exhale completely. Inhale a third. Another third. The final third.
and exhale completely. Inhale 1/3, the second third, the final third, and exhale completely. One more time. Inhale a third, a second third, to the top, and release. Breathe naturally. Untangle the legs. So some of you might lift up in that little peacock vinyasa to come all the way back through to a seat. Left leg on top, so it's either cross-legged, it's half lotus, or it's a full Padmasana, and this might be your awkward way. Close your eyes. So we'll do the pranayama technique we just did, but the opposite direction. Inhale completely. Exhale a third. Another third. The final third. Inhale. Exhale a third. A second third. All the way. Inhale. Exhale a third. Another third. A final third. Inhale. Breathe normal. And meet me on your back for Shavasana. So however you want to get there. Coming all the way down onto your belly and all the way down onto your back. Take a deep inhale. One more. Let go. No matter how rough and chaotic the waters of life can get, there's a part of you that can never be touched. And your yoga practice is to facilitate a connection more deeply to that part of you. An anchor amongst the storm. Take an inhale.
One more big breath. Move your fingers, move your toes. Stretch your arms long overhead. Tuck your knees towards your belly to roll to the right. And rise to a seat. And bring your hands to your heart. And close your eyes. Bow your chin, take one last moment. This practice is deep inside the cathedral of your heart. Lifting our eyes to each other. Namaste.